You know, the inspiration for the song came from me watching the BET Awards, and I saw Cray's speech, and I know he got some flack for that. Like I saw Hez said some stuff about.
How did you feel about that? Because you've moved in both worlds, clearly, obviously.
Well, I talked to Lecrae. I just talked to him the other day, and I told him, you know, I said that I come from that world. Sure. Like it wasn't just me big up an artist just because I feel like, you know, I wanted to get into some kind of like narrative. It was more like, yo, I grew up listening to these people. Without them, you would not be having an interview with me. These are the people who shaped like the foundation musically of what I create from, and so I kind of felt it. You know, I know Lecrae's getting a lot of flack for a lot of different things, and so, you know, one of them, people like to speak on this subject of whether or not he wants to be gospel or whatever, a Christian, probably more specifically. And so I told him, I was like, yo, I didn't expect you to go back to apologize to all of the gospel artists, so I did it for you.
Let's get the people what they want. The Wade-O Radio Show.
Yes, it's DJ Wade-O. I'm here with my brother, Christon Gray.
It's the Wade-O Radio Show.
Hey! How you
What's
doing,
good,
bro?
Man? I'm good now.
You good now?
Yeah, man.
It's good to see you, man.
I'm in good company.
It's good to see you, bro. It really is good to see you, man.
It's good to see you too, man.
I want to start here, bro. Like, I know you guys just put out some new music.
Mm-hmm.
You and Shabby got this new situation y'all starting, man. What's cooking, man?
No hesitation.
Yeah.
It's been a while, man. I haven't dropped a song of
been
my own.
Yeah.
Since if you don't count the Stop Me remix, it's been about a year and a half.
Yeah.
And that was hard for me. I mean, I did a project with my brother and some stuff with Jay Givens, but this was the first expression of a new sound, especially since leaving RCA, which we can talk about if you want.
Oh, absolutely.
But no, it was.
I think the people want to know about that.
Yeah, we can talk about that. I mean, I would only tell you. I've said that before.
I appreciate that.
Even though I know everybody's gonna hear it.
Sure.
But yeah, it's No Hesitation is the first of many we have in the chamber. We're trying to figure out what's next. You know which direction we want to go. We got a couple things on the table, and we're just trying to decide. So in the meantime, I didn't want to hold back the music.
Sure.
People want to hear something.
Sure. I thought it was one of the things that caught me with the song is you kind of shouting out different people, some of your influences, the OG gospel artists and all that.
Yeah, I thought about dedicating the whole 16 to that, but I tried to limit it to like the 15 greatest of the greatest that I could think of that shaped my personal development.
So that's your top 15 right there?
That's my top 15. I mean, you know, we don't really shout out.
I know, man, but you too creative to put your top 15 in the song, though.
Yo, actually, because it was so scarce,
and
it hasn't happened before, I was like, man, I'm gonna just start this joint off saying it was also intentional. Like it had to do with, you know, the inspiration for the song came from me watching the BET Awards, and I saw Cray's speech, and I know he got some flack for that. Like I saw Hez said some stuff about.
How did you feel about that? Because you've moved in both worlds, clearly, obviously.
Well, I talked to Lecrae. I just talked to him the other day, and I told him, you know, I said that I come from that world.
Sure.
Like it wasn't just me big up an artist just because I feel like, you know, I wanted to get into some kind of like narrative. It was more like, yo, I grew up listening to these people. Without them, you would not be having an interview with me. These are the people who shaped like the foundation musically of what I create from, and so I kind of felt it. You know, I know Lecrae's getting a lot of flack for a lot of different things, and so, you know, one of them, people like to speak on this subject of whether or not he wants to be gospel or whatever, a Christian, probably more specifically. And so I told him, I was like, yo, I didn't expect you to go back to apologize to all of the gospel artists, so I did it for you. That's how I worded it. I was like, you know, let me go back and say this, and we talked about it or whatever. But nah, I felt it when Hez got out. Man, when's the last time you saw a tweet from Hezekiah Walker? I didn't even know he had a Twitter account.
I know, bro. I know.
So he said that, and I felt it. But the song wasn't just about that. Like it was really a nod to where I came from and an explanation of where I am, and more importantly, where I'm going. It's kind of like the Open Door 2.0, you know. So It was a bigger song than that, but I'm like, yo, if we're gonna deal with it, let's jump right in and be like, hey, just in case people felt slighted, I'm gonna make a record shouting y'all out. Especially me knowing Kirk, I sent it to Kirk, and sending it to some of the gospel heads, people like Isaac Curry, Travis Green liked it, and hey man, I love my roots, so I feel like people should know about it.
That's dope, bro. So I guess we do have to talk about what happened with RCA, For Your Soul, that whole situation. Cause I'll be 100 with you, bro. Like,
you was salty?
I was salty. It didn't work.
You was one of the first people who told me it was on the table. Remember, you gave me that exclusive. Am I not supposed to say that? If I get you in trouble?
Yeah, you get me in trouble.
All right, cool.
Not now.
Cool, right.
Not now.
Don't cut this out.
Nah, I'm not cutting it out. But in all seriousness, bro, like,
you gave me just like a hint, like, hey, bro, you should maybe consider this. It ain't like you snitching.
You know what though? I really thought it was.
It was hard to leave, bro. I'm still close with Kirk. Yeah. Kirk and Ron, so For Your Soul team. I mean, I still love those guys. I still want to work with them, but man, at the time, working with RCA, it was tough because I didn't know that we didn't see eye to eye on so many things. Like when I came in, I mean, you see how me and Shabby do stuff. Like we move.
Y'all move.
And we kind of read the culture. Like it's not like I'm just some scapegoat. Like I've been a part of it, so I kind of know what to give to respect it. I kind of know, and with God's help and with people's help, how to speak to situations without getting super, super messy. Whether that's my personal life or whether that's on what's going on, usually my personal life. But it has to go at a certain pace. It can't just be like, oh, something comes out and then 3 years later, maybe an advertisement for a single. And it was tough, man. They were really trying to figure out how to work my music. And I think we had already figured that out post School of Roses. And it was hard getting them to understand, not the whole entirety of RCA, but the team we were working with at the time. It was rough, man. And I think I'm grateful to God that I was able to get out of another record deal. I mean, I know that that's kind of like touchy, and you don't want to the silver lining is like, thank God, because I don't know many artists who can get out of their deal, and this now makes 2 where I'm not. You know what I'm saying, bro. Like I'm not stuck.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But
a lot of artists are stuck.
Yeah, but and that's what we usually don't have a lot of dialogue about stuff like that in the culture. Record deals are real. The project wasn't marketed that well, and if it had not been for just like some key things like my homie Darren Haynes, who was working for ESPN here and stopped me. My old publicist, not even at the label, but my old publicist connecting it to him, and then that's how that took off. But
that song took on a whole other life. When that happened, bro.
It's the biggest song I've ever put out. It is, and honestly, I wish that was. I could say that was a bigger team effort. And no shot to Kirk. Kirk is a 10-time Grammy Award winner. Like he didn't have time on the day-to-day to handle all that stuff, and he knew my frustrations, and we kind of went back and forth trying to figure out how to work it out, but he understood, and they were gracious enough to let me, walk without any conditions.
And he was in the process too of doing his tour and putting the album out and all of that stuff. I think I would think too, one of the challenges has to be the pace. Just that, because like even when you look at most gospel artists, they're not dropping albums every year.
But that was the issue though. Like coming in the gate, I never knew that they were going to work me as a gospel artist. My last 2 albums, including the Glory album, was an R&B soul album. Both charted number 5 as R&B soul albums. It wasn't that I wanted to shy away from the title. It was, I know the market, and I know that what I do probably wasn't going to fit right into a regular machine for gospel music, just like it wouldn't fit into a regular machine of CCM. And trying to figure out how it would fit in a CHH space. I mean, we already did that. So this was more like, I was with Kirk when a lot of the transitions in the mainstream music was happening. So he called me right before he went to see Kanye. And I'm like, man, you're Kirk Franklin. Like he had second thoughts about that. And I'm like, no, you're Kirk. So naturally, as we're developing this hybrid sound of music that you've seen happening for a while,
Sure.
Seeing people like Chance out there, I'm like, bro, Kirk, like you know these guys.
Yeah.
Send them the music.
Yeah.
So my hope was that the label would back that and more so present me on a mainstream level, glorifying Jesus. And I think some of the people there, they didn't get it, man. Like, it rustled some feathers. And for anybody who doesn't know, record labels, the entertainment industry, just like anything, comes with a set of politics.
Yep.
And you got to know how to navigate through that stuff. And sometimes it means parting ways, unfortunately.
Yeah,
That's
man.
the Wado answer.
Hey, I mean, listen, bro.
That was the truth, though,
but
seriously.
just to hear you talk about they let you out of the deal.
That was just God, man.
It's a million artists stuck in deals right now, bro.
Still. And that's a real life thing. Like, as much as there's a huge part of me that's concerned about, not making people look bad, that's a big heart that I have for the culture and for people. I just don't believe in that, like calling out people like that. On the flip side of that, like, I've had to internalize a lot of things because of it, and it's affected my personal life.
Sure.
And I know that it's affected other people's personal lives on a heavy level, because that's probably why you see a lot of people either like leave the faith if it's happening in the Christian music industry or even in the mainstream industry. Like, I don't believe that Prince died from the flu.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is a man who was expressly changing his name to the artist, which was a reference to contracts when they say you are now referred to as the artist.
Yep.
You know some stuff was going on, and that could kill a person's soul.
Yeah.
So, It is tough, man. But for those who are stuck, still in their deals, like, I'm praying for you.
Yeah, I think that's the best bet, bro. Because I think a lot of times, a lot of fans, their favorite artist doesn't put music out for a period of time.
Yeah, and they wondering what's up.
They're like, yo, what happened to such and such? Like, why they not putting out music? And
here's the thing, too, bro. You got to know, whatever happens in my career, whether it was how difficult it was to leave Collision or how difficult it was to leave RCA, I'm the one who has to answer for it.
Sure.
Like, no matter what happens,
sure.
Like, at the end of the day, the question is going to be, what happened? And I remember telling Kirk and Shabby and Brian Hill, the homie, like, it's not like we want to leave. Like, it ain't going to make us look good. It's going to make it look like, yo, man, you can't keep a record deal. You know what I'm saying? And no matter what it is, because it was rough, I understood going out of it that I was going to have to take that. So it's tough, man. It is. It's really hard. But like I said, man, God's grace.
Amen.
Keeps
Amen.
me right here, bro.
Amen. How I know you've said this in songs, you said this in interviews that we've done, where you felt like there were certain people trying to blackball you from the industry, or trying to kind of suppress your talent or marginalize you.
Yeah.
May even be the right word. Do you still feel that way?
You mean currently?
Currently.
Yo, nobody shared my song that I put out, G. Like, not a single artist.
Wow.
That was tough. I'm very careful to not try to make myself look like a victim.
Yeah.
I know I put out songs and stuff recently where I call people out. Well, I don't call them out. I speak to them.
Yeah.
There's a difference, right?
Yeah.
Like, when I'm putting on public display, like, even having this interview, nobody except for the people who know I'm talking about them know who I'm talking about.
Sure.
But I think that type of thing can find itself, creating kind of an overall decision from the decision makers who all kind of decide what they're going to do with this person. And I think since I've come into the game, I've been somewhat of a threat, and I didn't know that. Like, earlier coming in, Apartment 78 days.
Yeah.
Like, I was just had my head down, doing what I knew to do. We Live as Kings days.
That Apartment 78 show was so dope.
Right? But I mean,
it felt so organic too, bro.
It was organic, but I wasn't, my personal life is no different than a lot of other people's. It's just that I think I decided to use it as a tool to find freedom in the Holy Spirit. And it caused me to not be a cool kid. I didn't fit in with a lot of the rules, a lot of the ways that they do things in the internal workings of the culture. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily from an external standpoint, because the fans don't always know what's up.
Yeah.
But, some of the powers that be and some of the people that kind of run the influence. I was talking to Lecrae about the same thing. Just talked to the ambassador about it. He's here tonight. I was talking to the Truth about it. And I just didn't know that there were rules. And so over time, I've seen my relationships with some of these guys fade. A lot of them came back and apologized to me after the collision stuff happened because there was a narrative about my life that was going around that was not true.
Yeah.
There were some self-inflicted things that I did that I admitted to, even to those guys, and even more importantly to the public through my music.
Sure.
I think that one of the lines that I put in No Hesitation is I'm saying like in the chorus, we present our lives to you. Please don't think we lied to you.
Right.
Like I present my life.
Right. You've always been super honest.
But it's literal though. Like, and I think sometimes in the church or in Christian music, we don't want to believe that what somebody is saying is what they're saying. You know what I'm saying?
I think there's more to the story sometimes.
I'll give you an example. So, we was doing some work with Jay Givens, and, that's the homie. But for people who were watching, they was kind of waiting for a project. He ends up putting out 2 songs, a couple months ago, and they just going ghost. He put that record out, Make It. And I came right out. My verse, please don't ever ask if I love my wife. I still wear my ring in my other life. And people like, hey, does that mean that that means he's still wearing his ring in no, it means I got a divorce.
Not together. Yeah.
Right? But I know the feeling of like I just don't want this to be true, but I can't wear that just because a lot of other people aren't real about their stuff, and I'm not asking people to be as honest or vulnerable as me, but at the same time, I don't want to get mistreated because of, just somebody else's opinion of me. So that's been rough, man. That was what I meant by the blacklist treatment. Leaving Collision was difficult. I still love those guys, every single one of them, and they know it. But when I left for business reasons, I was treated as a suspect of like heavy moral failure, and that was really hurtful.
Wado Radio.